That's the story of the rear end. All right, so what's going on now? This is the rear end going in my rock crawler. I started this rear end like 15 years ago, maybe longer. It's been a long time. But it's a 14-bolt Chevy. I shaved it, put this kit on it, and I built my own truss for it. I'm gonna take all that off. I'm gonna put a TMR full truss on it. I'm gonna leave the shave kit as is. I built my own brake caliper brackets. I'll leave those. We're gonna start putting my rock crawler together. We're gonna get the rear end all built, get it stashed out of the way, get the front end, get it all built. So when we're ready, we can just put those under it and they'll be ready to go geared, lockered. And I have all the parts for this rear end now. This week after work, I'm gonna get it all pieced together. And we'll get it out of the way, and then we'll start on the front end and get it done. Okay, set that right up on the table. Okay, there's old Betsy, the rear end. We'll do a little cutting and grinding, and whiz bang boom, she'll be apart. I'll start piecing the truss back together on it. We'll put this TMR full truss on this bad boy. It's kind of the similar, actually the TMR is kind of the similar thing that I built forever ago. We're gonna get gears and lockers in it first so I can see where my air stubs up out for my air locker. And then we'll deal with the rest of this, so.
But man, the gears are the same thing.
Got the Rona. Got it. Needs some love. We're gonna buy some new parts and pieces. We need some that are just a little bit longer than that. Those are pretty short. We're gonna just get smart here. Go ahead and just wheel this over here where we need it. That seems like a way smarter situation. I mean, this was a pretty decent setup I had going on here. It wasn't, cosmetically, it's not like the most appealing thing that you'll ever see. I didn't have a whole bunch of know what I was doing. I just was figuring it out, what I could read off of magazines and little internet stuff. TMR's just one of them, and they build a good product. This is still a good piece. We're gonna keep it. Oh, she's coming out. There she is. Got it. It was a super high geared machine. We got a lot of cleaning to do. We're gonna do the cutting first and get this old truss cut off. Everything ground up and cleaned up good. We're gonna weld these axle tubes in nice and solid. About got it. Somebody welded the crap out of it. Wow, that's my ear hole. Pretty tight quarters. Voila. Now we'll do some cleaning up. We gotta cut this all the way off. We'll get that. Bunch of cleaning, grinding, buffing. Then we can go to welding. Set that truss on. We'll tack that truss on. Weld it all up. We got lots of welding to do on the truss. But we'll put it all on here. Tack it in a couple spots on the rear end so it'll hold. We'll weld the whole truss together. And then we'll start from the middle. Work our way out on this so it doesn't bend my rear end one way or another, heat pull it. Then we can go ahead and polish all these back up, clean them up so the brakes will work. get some new brake calipers, new brake lines, get all that plumbed on it, and then stash it over in the corner until we're ready to put it under a truck. There you go. There you got her. All right. We'll snug all these up. We just didn't want it to warp, so we're gonna put this. Okay, that cover is on, I would say. A long time ago, we were gonna build our truck before Dar's Jeep, and his Jeep broke down in my yard, so we ended up working on it first. Started to rust a little bit from sitting on my floor. There's that. Welded down.
Got the notches on the same spot.
Yeah. Welding to do. And it should be.
Need to cut that notch and push that forward a little bit.
Oh, it'll go forward as soon as I get all this stuff off of it. Once this is off, it'll...
That's weird how they put them arms in there so they fit right down perfect.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
All laser cut out.
Yeah.
Just like that. Just like so.
And you probably want it fairly forward front anyway, because this is tipping way back when you get it in there.
Yeah, I think right there somewhere is where I want it. I think I'm gonna square it up with these and go right across just like that. I'm gonna actually plug this breather.
And put a different one in.
I have a different one. Probably gonna end up drilling it like right here.
The cover.
Putting it in the cover. It's just a little.
Yeah. So who made this?
This is Ballistic Fab's shave kit. This was back a long time ago when they were pretty much the only ones doing it. TMR actually makes shave kit and everything for it. I bend these ears in right here to where they'll go down the side and then it'll work. This one's not welded together. I'll be more cautious when I weld this one together. I welded yours together without it being bolted on.
Oh.
Won't do that again.
So where do these go?
Yeah, I'm not sure where those go. I think they're for bracing
Oh,
the
that's it.
front
For
up.
under this.
Yeah, somewhere out there.
And we didn't put them on mine. Did we?
We did. Yeah, I would bet that
Something
that's
like
where
that.
it goes. That would definitely make it tougher to get in there. We'll see if I end up putting them
I
on.
kind of don't think it needs it.
I don't
I think
either,
it's got
honestly.
plenty of strength.
Let's set it back on there and see. Hey, it fits now.
I gotta watch this because when you welded mine, I was off hunting something else. And
Was
come
ya?
back and it was all welded. You gotta get this down so you don't have the big gaps to weld.
Yeah. So I think if I cut that off right there, it's gonna drop. I think we're gonna call it close enough. It's good. I can weld that. It'll weld. I gotta plug that breather first. We're gonna put a new breather on it. Probably gonna put it right off of right here. Now we gotta figure out where we're gonna stub the ARB line in at. It's probably gonna go in right here somewhere. Yeah. It's all welded on. I just have it tacked in the corners for now. We'll let it completely cool off and then we'll clamp it all back down and start from here and weld our way out. Then it should be done. So, a lot of welding. It's hot right now. So I'll let it cool off so it doesn't pull it. This is a ARB air locker. This is a little actuator solenoid. So this rear end is a little special. It's a 14 bolt Chevy, just like I run in all my junk. but I shaved the bottom of this one. It's got a shave kit in it, so it's flat on the bottom. So this ring gear had to get milled down, so it's flat. So we're test fitting everything to make sure it's all gonna work here. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to do a little trimming in there. Same place Dars was hitting. They're 538 gears, and they're hitting right there. So we'll get the trimmer device after it, and we'll trim it off. We may need some oil in that. She don't sound too healthy. We don't use air tools a lot around here. It's our favorite thing to do around here. Just tear stuff back apart after we've put it together once. Test fit number 2. Working thing is not light, in case you're wondering. I just drop in there. We're gonna have to a little right there, I think.
Test fit number 3.
It's binding.
Where?
Right there, it's hitting. But it looks like we'll do some turning here and see if we can make it happier. I have to put this fitting in the housing, which this fitting goes in here, threads down in the housing, then another one goes in and tightens onto this, clamps it, which makes a sealing surface. When you put air to this line, it goes into this little circle thing right here, which has got 2 O-rings in it. There's a hole in the housing in the middle of it. Shoots air inside, locks a differential solid, which gives you a locker so both tires will spin. And I was putting this in so I can determine the best place for this is going to be right there. We'll drill a hole and we will mount that sucker down, and then we'll fish that line through there and roll it all in, and voila, lockered. And then we'll set the gears up. Well, we got a bunch of grinding and cleaning to do still now, which is why I wasn't too worried about all the metal shavings before, because I knew we were going to make a bunch more of them still. When you're building a custom rear end like this, there's a lot of stuff that you got to do. Wiggle that right back out of there just like so, and we'll take care of that problem first. Okay, now let's drill a hole. I wonder if this book tells me what size to drill. We've studied, we've read, probably still gonna do it wrong, but we're gonna go get a tap. Let's go drill a hole. Let's get this light, is what they say to drill this bad boy to. There's a hole. Good or bad, we just put a hole in it. This battle is about half over now. We're going to take a little of this stuff.
Loctite,
Nope.
anti-seize.
Nope. You got any more? This is like, what's that part with your mom? Listen to it.
That's a electric socket pusher. And
Can you hear it ratcheting?
it's a ratchet.
Oh, there you go. That's what it's called.
No, I don't have anything
This is
else.
thread sealer.
Oh.
It's just so it won't leak oil out of that hole.
It'd probably work better with a gun
I don't want to break it off.
or a ratchet.
Don't want to break it off. I want to be able to fill exactly how tight I'm tightening this one. I think we clean all this metal up.
It's about locker time.
We should be able to put this in, set some gears up, put a rear diff cover on it.
What gears are those?
538s. The old truck's gonna run 40-inch tires. I've never actually installed one of these ARVs. This is a first for me, so we're figuring it out as we go right here.
Yeah. Here's my question. How does it spin without breaking that off?
This, I'll show you right now. Good question. See this little tab? Locks into right there, and it won't let it spin. So there's two sills on there, and this actually just rotates on this housing.
Oh.
What you're going to want to do is hand form this down here so it doesn't rub. Something to that effect. Then you're going to want to roll it over close and start it up through there. Alright, we'll form that. We'll make that work. We can form it in there. We're going to need this light over here where we can see what we've got going down. Oh yeah, we can form that in there. That'll work. We'll tighten this up a little first. Get a hair of preload going on this bearing. At least get the bearings in where they need to be. And we'll put the caps on it. Then we'll go to forming that line so it doesn't rub anything. A little too much slop for my liking. There we go. Get a little bearing preload on them. Alright. I guess I should form this now. Wish that we had this lifted up so I could roll it down. That'd be good, but we don't. Perfect. We got her.
Where it won't
Formed,
hit.
it's not rubbing anything. Okay, now we'll build a pattern on some gears here, and we'll be happy with it. I ain't got enough. I ain't got enough. I'm not happy with it. That's better. Oh yeah, I like that better. So Land learned something tonight. Didn't you, Land?
Yeah.
He learned that this is a dial indicator.
Why do you have to do this?
To see how many. Look, we'll turn it to 0. Okay. Now we want to see how many thousands. How many is it?
3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See that? 6 thousandths of backlash. We'll take it. Now we'll run a pattern on it. Okay, you ready for this pattern check?
Yep.
What's your prediction?
Uh,
We're gonna have to add shims to the front, take shims away, or perfect?
I'm guessing we're gonna have to add
Okay.
shim.
Oh, it's cold. It doesn't want to squeeze out of there very good. Let's see what she looks like. I'm sure no matter what I do, someone will tell me that it's wrong and that it's going to burn up in 100 minutes. We'll find out.
If you can get it to roll.
Oh, it rolls just fine. I'm trying not to cut my fingers off. There's a lot of really sharp. Look at that. That's not like completely horrible. It's a little far deep. I'd like to move it up just a bit. It's really not a bad pattern though. It's right in the middle of the gear. I'm gonna leave it. See if it breaks. Settled. We're calling it. I got a feeling that this isn't the last time we're ever going to be in this rear end for broken parts. We plan on beating this poor old girl pretty unmercifully, really.
Yeah.
We're going to take it wherever we want to go with it. Now all we got to do is get the bulkhead fitting put in right. We'll glue the diff cover on it. We'll buff it. We're going to do this bulkhead first. Says we're supposed to put an O-ring above it and an O-ring below it. And then we screw it down on with that little thing and it tightens it right in there. Then we screw that on top of it. Done. Alright, we'll do that. Okay, and then that should seal on that with an O-ring. That is an ARB. Now we'll do the cover. Alright, now we gotta drill a hole in that cover and tap it before it comes. I want it right at the top.
Oh.
I don't want it to be down where it's going to catch anything. I want it to where the ring gear's not going to fling oil on it. It's a breather. Because we plugged up the original breather hole. We welded her over because it was under the truss. So. We'll put some of that sealant on it. We'll be done.
Is that right stuff?
That it is. Once this sets up, we won't even need bolts.
Jeez.
Allergic to work? Okey dokes. Fail number one. It's not my fault. What we've got going on here. We're hitting the dang cap bolts. So we had to put this bracket on here, which stepped these bolts out just barely. And now the bolts are hitting right there. And I assume down there somewhere. I don't know, we gotta...
Could you take the lock washer out and put a smaller washer on it?
I probably could, but I need the lock washer there, so we're gonna rub that on there. I'll smooth this out. We're gonna hold it up there and see where it's hitting. And we'll do a little work to this. Right there and right there, just barely. If you grind it out to miss it. And then we'll have to clean all the silicone off and fun stuff. I think we're close though. A little bit. Right there. Okay. She fits now. Now we'll reapply the silicone. Okay. We're back to where we were a minute ago. Buggers are tight. Is built. manufactured, finished, well, it's got gears. It's not finished.
Yeah.
It's way closer than it once was. And we'll get some brakes on it. Get that part of the process done. Get some axles for it, get those in. We're gonna put a pinion sill in it this time. We still gotta do that, it's right here. So I haven't forgotten it yet. We're gonna put that pinion sill in. Bolt those down. We got ourselves a 14 bolt. So cool.